Have you ever stopped to wonder, where do the Turkish people really come from? Are they descended from fierce Central Asian nomads? Or are they the children of ancient Anatolian farmers and Mediterranean sailors? Science has recently uncovered answers that shocked even the experts. Because when you dive deep into Turkish DNA, you don't just find one origin. You find many. This is not just a story about ancestry. This is the incredible story of how the Turkish people came to be. Through strength, struggle, and a legacy of survival. Let's take a journey, through time, blood, and memory, to reveal the shocking truths hidden in Turkish DNA. Long before there was Turkey, long before there were empires or nations, there was Anatolia, one of the oldest inhabited regions in the world. Over 10,000 years ago, as the last ice age faded, people began to settle in this land. They farmed. They built homes. They formed communities. They gave birth to some of the earliest human civilizations. One of the world's oldest cities, Çatalhöyük, is right here in Turkey. And the DNA of those ancient people still lives on in Turkish people today. Recent studies have found that a large portion of Turkish DNA comes from these ancient Anatolian farmers. In fact, many Turks today are partly descended from the very people who invented farming. So while the Turkish language came much later, the bloodline, the genetics, runs deep in Anatolia. But the story doesn't stop there. Around 5,000 years ago, massive waves of people from the Eurasian steppe began to move westward. These were horse-riding tribes, the early Indo-Europeans. They brought new tools, new customs, and yes, new DNA. When scientists analyzed Turkish genomes, they found clear signs of steppe ancestry in modern Turks. This means that the ancestors of Turkish people include some of the same groups that helped shape the genetics of Europeans, Iranians, and Indians. It's like Anatolia became a crossroads, where east met west and north met south. And that's just the beginning. Fast forward to the 11th century. A powerful new force emerged on the world stage. The Oghuz Turks of Central Asia. These were fierce nomadic tribes from the steppes between Mongolia and the Caspian Sea. They spoke Turkic languages. They rode horses like lightning. And they moved westward. The Oghuz Turks began entering Anatolia after the Battle of Manzikert in 1071. They didn't just pass through. They settled. They mixed. They became the foundation of the modern Turkish identity. But here's the shocking part. Despite the cultural impact of the Oghuz Turks, genetic studies show that only about 10 to 15% of modern Turkish DNA comes from Central Asia. That's right. The language and identity of Turkish people come from the Oghuz. But the majority of the DNA is still from the local populations of Anatolia, the Middle East, and the Balkans. In other words, culture moved faster than genes. And then came the empire. The Ottoman Empire, one of the longest-lasting and most powerful empires in human history. Stretching across 3 continents, Europe, Asia, and Africa. It ruled for over 600 years. The Ottomans brought together people from everywhere. Slavs, Greeks, Kurds, Arabs, Jews, Armenians, Albanians, North Africans, Circassians. And all these people lived, worked, married, and raised families across the empire. This created something extraordinary. A deep and rich blend of genetics. Modern Turkish people carry the DNA of many of these groups. Some Turkish lineages trace back to the Balkans, others to the Caucasus, some even to North Africa and the Arabian Peninsula. The result: Turkish DNA is one of the most diverse genetic profiles on Earth. Let's break that down with actual data. According to major genetic studies, 40 to 60% of Turkish DNA comes from ancient Anatolian and Balkan populations. 15 to 25% comes from the Caucasus and Middle East. 10 to 15% is Central Asian, the legacy of the Oghuz Turks. Small traces come from Europe, North Africa, and South Asia. This means Turkish people are not just one thing. They are many things at once. They are the bridge between East and West, genetically, culturally, and spiritually. And you can see this diversity everywhere. In Turkish villages, you'll meet people with green eyes and red hair, others with dark skin and almond-shaped eyes. Some look Mediterranean, others look Eastern European, Arab, or Central Asian. But they are all Turkish, because Turkish identity isn't based on race. It's based on shared culture, language, and history. And that's what makes it so powerful. This unique DNA blend also comes with a powerful story of survival. The Turkish people have been through wars, invasions, and collapse. They've seen empires rise and fall. They've defended their land from crusaders, Mongols, and colonial powers. And every time they were challenged, they stood tall. After the collapse of the Ottoman Empire, they rebuilt. The Turkish War of Independence gave birth to a new republic, under the leadership of Mustafa Kemal Ataturk. This wasn't just a political revolution. It was a cultural rebirth, a new vision of a modern, united, independent Turkey. And once again, the Turkish people proved their strength. But strength isn't just about war or power. It's about endurance, about keeping your identity through thousands of years of change. That's what Turkish DNA shows us. It's the DNA of ancient farmers, of steppe warriors, of Mediterranean sailors, of desert traders, of empires, nomads, and rebels. It's the DNA of survivors. So what makes Turkish DNA so shocking and so beautiful? It's not one thing. It's everything. It's the ancient meeting the modern. It's the East blending with the West. It's the empire becoming a nation. It's the ability to change without losing your roots. The Turkish genome tells a story not just of one people, but of humanity itself, of migration, mixture, struggle, and unity. Now, ask yourself, what does it really mean to be Turkish? It means being the child of many ancestors, of Anatolians who built the first cities, of nomads who crossed the steppes, of warriors who built empires, of poets, thinkers, mothers, and farmers. It means carrying in your blood the story of civilization, of survival, of strength, of beauty. So, when scientists say Turkish DNA is shocking, what they really mean is this. It's a miracle of history, of diversity, of unity. And if you're Turkish, you carry that miracle with you, in your cells, your heart, and your soul. No matter your background, no matter your appearance, you are a living legacy, and that is something to be proud of. Let your DNA remind you, you are not just one chapter in history. You are the whole book. Before you go, if you found this journey into Turkish DNA as fascinating as we did, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon, so you never miss another deep dive into the hidden stories of our shared humanity. We've got more powerful, surprising, and educational videos coming your way. From ancient genetics to untold histories, join our growing community of curious minds and be part of the journey. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.